Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of CW Movie Night. How are we doing, Mike and Dean?
I'm doing really good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Hanging out with the boys. Gonna
Yeah,
have a good
man.
night.
Yeah, this has been a great, this has been a solid week for CW. It's been very funny. The content's been good, and I just didn't want to drop the ball. We were struggling getting a movie picked. We were looking at some of Classy Thomas's selections, and if you can believe it or not, this is our first CW movie night since we found out the bad news, and we were thinking about picking one of his movies, and he didn't make it easy because nothing is on accessible streaming
Yeah.
services from his selection. We'll probably get around to one or two of them, but we actually just thought we'd change up the format a little bit tonight and talk about just some entertainment media and news stories that I thought were interesting, and I thought that these guys might have a take on. Well, you do a couple sort of overviews of recent things, but I thought, it might be interesting to sort of start this off with have you guys seen anything recently that actually stands out in your memory that you didn't instantly forget for it being forgettable and boring?
I was
I
watching
watched.
today.
Sorry,
You
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Dean.
No, you go first.
I watched The Accountant 2 last weekend, which
Ooh,
I thoroughly enjoyed. And they're talking about supposedly it's going to
bro,
be a third one. So I hope it happens. I don't know how
like
good
a
this one did, but
franchise.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like it.
I watched the first movie on a whim.
Mhm.
I think I was like super bored one day, and I was like on Netflix or something, and I was like, I'll give it a watch. And I was so shocked at how good that movie was. I was not expecting it. Like, there's like good twists and turns, and Ben Affleck is really good in that movie because he's like, I think he has autism,
Yeah,
so he's like
correct.
very like almost like very emotionless and kind of robotic, and which is hard to like relate to a character like that because I know a few people with autism, and like it's such a wide spectrum that like nobody acts the same. So I've
Yeah.
never met anyone like that before. So when you're trying to relate to a character like that, it's very difficult. But like I don't know how he did it, but you're just like, this guy's fucking awesome, you know?
Oh wow, they took 9 years to make a sequel to that. That's crazy.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
they announced it, I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Like I, I don't
Yeah,
know how Hollywood
when they made the
works.
second one, it made me go back and rewatch the first one, and then I enjoyed it originally the first time, but going back to it, I loved it even more. I felt like I could appreciate it even more. So yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
good. Looking forward to the third one. I would say the second one is a little more fun, I guess it, and that's probably not the best way to describe it, but the interaction with Affleck and Barenthal, they have obviously, it's not like the first one where they just interact towards the end. It's kind of throughout the movie. So those such different personalities, right? Like you're talking about, Affleck being autistic and quiet and direct to the point, and Barenthal's just a typical
Kind of
Barenthal
likable
character,
guy.
right? Yeah,
Like a
just
John
funny and
Everyman.
charming, but a little bit of crazy. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. Definitely worth checking out.
So
Yeah.
Ben Affleck can act when he's in an actual film. That's what you guys are saying, basically.
Dude, Affleck's the
Yeah.
bomb.
Honestly, like growing up, I don't want to say he was like a joke, but it was like,
He was a
it's
douchebag.
it's Ben
Well,
Affleck. Him and Matt Damon were like inseparable.
he's
Yeah.
in all the
And
Kevin Smith movies at like early on, just
Yep.
bit
yeah,
parts.
or he was in like rom-coms, and it was just I never got a real good sense of who he was as an actor. But then he
Yeah,
started directing movies, and
yeah.
his
Well,
movies did really well. And then now he's acting in like other shit, and it's like, oh, like he's actually a solid actor.
Yeah,
yeah,
it seems like once he was able to kind of take control of his career himself instead of just, like you said, taking the wrong cons and taking the
Right.
paychecks and whatever he can get,
Yeah.
being a little more picky and taken serious. Yeah, no, I
Right.
dig him. I think he's really good.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
like his brother, Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah, his brother's awesome too.
Yeah. Well, the thing that always stands out in memory about him with me is like Kevin Smith used to do all these like he would like literally make physical media editions of speaking tours that he would do. Like the first one was called An Evening with Kevin Smith, like
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago, probably. And he put it out on DVD. And like he had this story on one of them where Affleck canceled a Kevin Smith movie or delayed it so that he could do Daredevil. And like, Kevin Smith goes on for like 20 minutes, how he's just like cannot conceive in his brain that Ben Affleck is playing Daredevil, like a comic he like read his whole life, and he's canceling working on one of his movies to do Daredevil. And when you think about that in retrospect, like how much crazier it got than that, he was actually like one of the top 3 for a while. Very mainstream superheroes. I don't know, man. It's just it's like like, and he just plays like a generic bully with like 5 lines in Mallrats, and it's just how far we've come, But yeah, I didn't prep any Ben Affleck slides today, but I just wanted to I just wanted to talk about a few things that have been because I'm a little more basic and I haven't watched The Accountant, and I think, is it true, Dean, that you still have not watched a single episode of Andor?
That's correct. Well, the second season.
The second season. Mike, you obviously finished it, right?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So like without, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, should you really have to worry about spoilers in Andor, considering it's almost intercuts with the final season of Rebels and it lines up with Rogue One. So it's like, what's really going to happen in the thing that's going to surprise you? But I felt it was very I think there's 6 episodes out of 12 that are pure cinema, and then the others are like, they could use some work probably, but they just, they had to futz around a little bit. But I think it's an important moment because Disney hasn't they just haven't taken the franchise this seriously. And I don't mean it's gritty like adult drama. I mean like the level of depth that is put into the script, that it doesn't have these moments that just pull you out of it and you get like reality check whiplash.
They fly now? They fly now.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
nothing.
you've never seen
like
a fucking jetpack in the Star Wars universe? Like fucking Mandalorians aren't fucking running around with jetpacks? Like, how are you fucking surprised that they have jetpacks? So fucking stupid.
Somehow Cassian has returned.
Yeah.
God damn it! I fucking hate the sequels. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
my god.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll get there. Actually, I got some of that planned for later in the show. But I just, I don't want to let this cultural moment of Andor go by like too unnoticed, because like we're really the only other live action Star Wars thing in production right now is Ahsoka season 2. Like, and it's like, I guess you have the
Mando
the
movie.
movie. Yeah, but I think that's wrapped principal photography, and I don't think Starfighter has started yet. The Gosling one, but that could be interesting.
Bro,
but
getting Gosling,
yeah,
that's got me kind of hyped. Because Ryan Gosling doesn't do shitty things.
Yeah, and it's just funny, like, so like, what do you think though? Like, do you think it's a safe bet that Daisy Ridley's gonna have a cameo in that movie? Because there ain't no way that other movie's happening, but they need to like soften the blow of hiring that director, announcing a Rey movie, saying that Daisy Ridley is back. Like, do you think like it's supposed to be like 5 years after episode 9 or whatever it is?
I think it'll be telling, because I honestly, and I've said this for years with these ridiculous announcements that Disney always has to make for these movies just to hype people up at some corporate presentation. But I don't foresee that trilogy or that movie with Rey happening. I mean, I could be wrong, and
it's never a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, so I think if she's in there, it's going to be quite telling either way, right? Like if she's not, pretty good chance she's intentionally not being put in there because they probably pulled the plug in it. If she is,
Oh, I
they're
think
clearly trying to shoehorn that in.
I just think I just think it's politically for them such a blow to cancel that movie that they might include her and say that that was the plan all along and it just evolved or something.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes it worse, which is a Disney thing to do.
Well, it's even funnier when you consider Patty Jenkins did this video about a Rogue Squadron movie where she's like getting out of a Tesla and like getting in a jet, and this movie that she has nothing. Oh, that's even funnier. And in retrospect, it has aged very badly considering the movie's canceled, but and the Tesla, but like this new movie is called Starfighter. It's like, does it have the same subject matter as the canceled Patty Jenkins movie to some degree? Yeah, that's crazy. But Dean, I'm not going to say that everything about Andor season 2 is perfect, but like 6 episodes of it are like the best Star Wars Disney has done so far. It's pretty crazy.
That's what I've heard. I've heard really good things, and I've seen a few clips because kind of the only thing that really had me like wanting to watch it was K2SO, like how he got involved. So I watched all the K2SO clips and I was like, okay, like,
oh man,
I don't hate it. Right. Like,
yeah, he has a couple.
It's better than who are your people? I don't have any people. Okay. Your name's Han Solo now. Like,
that was so bad.
How come his name couldn't have just been Han Solo? Why did you have to fucking stupid?
Dude, it's very similar. It's very similar to the Rey Skywalker scene. It's just so
it's like they try to like explain shit that doesn't need explaining and ham-fist it in this weird fucking way that you're just like, this is fucking dumb. So like I was relieved when the K2SO stuff actually made sense and was cool and like, and again, it doesn't hurt that it's the same group of people making this that did the movie, that did the season 1. It's coherent. It all fucking makes sense. It all works. I don't know why they don't stick to that fucking formula, but I'm not the one fucking calling the shots. But
yeah, I should have pulled it up, but like some of the advertising, some of the promoted ads Disney has done around Andor is like, I think it's signifying a change. They literally had a promoted ad that was a reel that said, it had showed a picture of Cassian's face and it said, Andor season 2 is a miracle in big bold letters, miracle. and we should be so lucky to ever see anything like it again. This was a promoted Disney post for it saying like, you're probably never going to see anything even from us this good again. Is that like, it's like, that was a quote from, like it was a quote from a reviewer, but like, that's a weird quote to share as Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The word miracle in all caps, miracle. The word that got Dr. Oz into court, all caps. But I don't know. I like 6 episodes of it approach miracle status, but I think part of that is just so much Ahsoka and Kenobi and whatever the heck else has been going on.
Yeah,
just
for me, I would lean towards more towards 4 episodes. I think that really got me.
Yeah,
I would say for the entire season, I actually enjoyed or was more intrigued by the first season from start to finish. This one, obviously we know the way it kind of broke up. 3 episodes. The first 2 in each segment, I really struggled to get through. I was kind of like, Jesus Christ, it was slow.
Yeah.
And then the last one got you enough to get you to the next set and be like, oh, okay. But that last year, I guess you would call it. Yeah, it's hard to beat.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dean hasn't seen it. Hopefully, I hope he watches it someday. You can, in my opinion, you can pretty much skip the first 3 episodes. But but that's neither here nor there. Another thing that Mike and I have watched, but Dean hasn't. Okay, so Predator, Killer of Killers. Now, I just want to say a couple things about this, spoiler free. I did watch it last night or the night before, and there's a couple interesting things going on here that I think are worth bringing up. In some ways, this is a very referential sequel to live action films, but it's it's fully animated. The art style is actually very similar to Clone Wars, which is something I was talking to Mike about earlier. Like, but they do the low frame rate thing from Spider-Verse, so like that's a bit trendy because realistically nobody wants to watch anything in 12 frames a second. Like, I don't know what the appeal of that is. Like, it was fun for Spider-Verse, but like it's like real cartoons are not that low frame rate. Like,
it's definitely a weird design choice.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's 3D though. It's not 2D at all. And the character style actually does look a lot like Clone Wars, like I was saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it reminds me a lot of, and I don't think the frame rate is janky in the League of Legends show on Netflix, Arcane, but it's got that cool where it's like they're 3D characters, but they look like hand painted. Like the textures, it's a cool aesthetic, but that weird frame rate thing is so janky. I don't know.
Yeah, you get used to it over the course of an entire film, but I don't. This is structurally very weird. This is not a spoiler to say, Dean, but it's almost like it's like 3 isolated scenes that then come together at the end, basically, right? It's almost like 3 short films put together, and then but you realize they have a through line that pays off in the last like half hour, basically.
That's what I was gonna ask, because there was like samurai times, and then there was like Viking times. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
yeah.
I wasn't sure how that was going to play out.
Yeah. And I do like, I appreciate that it is actually like a feature length film, and there is a actual very literal through line that connects all 3 stories. But it does make it sort of feel so atypical in structure that it's like, it does almost, it feels almost like structurally like something like Star Wars Visions, but it's way better than that, obviously. but
that's a fair comparison though, in terms of what they were trying to do.
Yeah, it's just, I think the one drawback to it, which for me personally, which some people might not agree with, is just like this structure where they told these 3 separate stories in about 15 or 20 minutes each, forced them to sort of play out all the story beats of a Predator film in 15 minutes 3 times over, which structurally felt a little bit repetitive for me, but it does get you like 10 decapitations in 45 minutes.
That's pretty good.
If that does it for you. But
the one benefit of doing it in an accelerated time like that, though, right, is because we already know it. We've seen it so many times. That's what I've always said in a lot of these things, like with Alien and Predator and similar films, is they're never as good as the original because you can never capture that moment again, right? That first reveal experience you get, when the Predator takes off his mask, or when his camouflage fails, and it's like, holy shit, you can never do that again. They try to do it in every movie, and you're just like, seen it, right? So to get these accelerated versions of that reveal and of that story, it worked. It got right to the point.
Totally. And what I did like about it is obviously, like, we got a little bit of it with Prey, but the Predator comic books have sort of done these smaller stories throughout history before, and it's sort of the first time we're getting a sort of, it really feels like they took a few of the comic book ideas and sort of drew a through line through them and put it on here. And I put this one Predator character here because it's like, it feels like they're pulling from a lot of different stuff. Like, this character really reminded me of a Predator design from the Concrete Jungle video game, where it's like they have some they've captured some of the predators and they have them in a lab, and all their dreads are like snipped off like that, and they got like breathing masks on and stuff. So it's like it I don't know if that might have appeared in the Dark Horse comics earlier as well, with the eye patch and stuff, but I mean, there's if you're sort of into the expanded lore and the comics, there's a lot for you in this movie, and I think you should check it out. And they are evidently using it as a way to tease future content.
So,
which
Chris,
go ahead, yeah.
refresh my memory on it. So when you talk about the comics, most of my comics with Predator were like the Batman versus Predator kind of stuff, right? So it didn't really
Yeah.
get into a lot of the lore of the Predators. But I always, and maybe this is something they kind of just forgot about in the movies too, but I always thought of it as the Predator was kind of like the young hunter trying to prove his way, right? So that's why he goes out and he fights the, whether it's the aliens or Schwarzenegger or, Danny Glover, goes out on these young first hunts to prove his worth. And I saw this guy and I thought, this is a guy that's already been through some shit, right? Like he's already been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and hat. Why is he here trying to fight these guys? Like, is that theory of the young, predators proving themselves something that isn't really hold true anymore, or what?
I think that's a special case thing that they just dust off when it's relevant, because like, you got I think the one in the original movie you wouldn't say that about. The Wolf and AVPR is clearly there just to remove evidence of a crashed ship on Earth, which they don't seem to be too concerned about in this movie.
Yeah.
but leaving evidence of their presence behind. I don't know. I'm not sure that it's all consistent, because at the end of the day, it's all here because of a really awesome 1987 movie that they just kept feeling the need to iterate on over and over again.
That was kind of my critique about the Aliens franchise. It's like there's like 10 movies and they're always surprised by the aliens. It's like, has no one told you about any of this shit happening? Like, none of you are in communication with each other?
No. Classified. Above top secret. But what I did think about on that subject though, when I watched this, is that, man, does this alien design hold up? Like, the design of the Predator is still cool.
Yeah.
Like almost 40 years later. Like, it just is, man. Like, I don't know. Like, you could look at that like set stills from the first one and like it's still cool. Like, I think when you look at something like RoboCop, it's debatable whether he looks 80s as hell or actually cool. Predator actually looks cool for sure. Like,
RoboCop looks actually cool.
Okay, yeah, well, first of all, two things can be true, Chris. So
it's debatable. It's more debatable.
That's not debatable at all.
Yeah, listen, you're wrong.
You know how I know it's not debatable? Because when you think of RoboCop, you still think of the original movie, not the shitty remake.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would argue that is like a more like aesthetic design, and it still doesn't hold up to the original. The original one is fucking cool. What the fuck? You gotta be kidding me.
What do you what okay, so
did you hear that?
This is not going to help my argument that it's not me. That's for sure. What the fuck?
What is going? You guys were both on that stream, man. I don't know. I'm just trying to talk about some aliens and predators here.
Well, everyone thought it was you behind the scenes too. So
yeah, but
off the hook.
Yeah, but Zach screen shared. I wasn't in there. But so
that's true.
Look at this little poster that leaked. This is not looking good, boys. What does this remind you of?
Is she a robot? I was like, what the? Where's her body?
Yeah, where's the rest of her?
I don't know if she's like attached onto him like a backpack, or if she's a robot with her legs broken off, or what.
Dude, I just watched her in a Tyler Perry movie yesterday. Yeah. The woman on the right, she was such a bitch in it. I was like, man, she was so cool in fucking AVP.
Oh, I'm not familiar with anything else she's ever done. But yeah, I don't know, man. This mask looks like the Falconer from my second least favorite Predator movie, the one with the like the Adrian Brody one where they're like the one has like a gigantic head that's like looks terribly disproportionate to its body, and like that mask just
Dude,
that mask
Okay,
just
dude.
is not.
I'm gonna fucking
That-
blow a gas.
that helmet, it looks like Sassy Tin in the 2D Clone Wars.
It does. It totally does.
You guys should have pulled up some Sassy Tin like Mythosaur mask, because like he's much cooler in the cartoon than
Mythosaur.
in the
I
actual.
can't hear Mythosaur anymore without thinking of fucking what's his
Yeah.
name?
You're right. Queel. They ruined the Mythosaur
Quill.
too. It's a damn shame. But I don't know,
I
when
like
you see
his
this poster.
sword.
I guess, is it a laser sword? Like, what is it?
I think that's
Also, wait a minute. I know the Alien franchise is tied to Predator, specifically in this movie as well, because it's on one of the cars, the Wayland.
Yeah.
So is she like one of the Wayland droids? Because clearly her robot legs are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or is that
her
what I'm
wires are
looking at?
showing.
I don't. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I thought.
They have to be. The legs have to be somewhere, or they're gone. And I believe they're gone.
Is that what's her face?
Fanning. Yeah.
Fanning. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I like her a lot. She's in the
Which
new
is-
Death Stranding game too.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The trailer was kind of weird. This poster is like, I don't know what to, like. I guess a predator can be.
The trailer was the Predator that kind of had like his dreads were pulled
Yeah.
back, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I didn't like the look of that.
It looked a bit like just undercooked CGI. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, I could forgive a lot of shit if it's fun. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I mean, we talked about Triple X for like 2
I
hours.
was just gonna
so,
say
like,
that. Yeah.
like even if the CGI is a little jank, if the Predator's doing cool fucking shit, because like in the original movie, he's clearly the antagonist, but like you want to like him and root for him because he's so cool, which I think
I don't know about that. I mean,
It's-
he's just horribly murdering all of Arnold's boys the whole time.
Yeah, but
I'm
he's
not-
so badass looking.
Yeah,
It's
but
like I don't want to
we're
hate
here for
him. Yeah, you collect figures of the Predator, not fucking all
I
the
mean,
other
I'd have one.
guys.
I'd have one.
Jesse
Dutch.
Ventura.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura.
Listen,
like, I was
some
gonna
of his
say,
lines, man.
yeah, I feel like they leaned into that a lot in like sequel stuff. Like again, AVP, they end up working together. Or clearly this, like he's not
I
gonna
don't
be
like
the antagonist. I think I didn't see the Killer of Killers, so you tell me. Like, I think they really need to get back on them being the bad guys.
Yeah, that in Killer of Killers, there is no sympathetic predator.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because in
there's, like-
Prey, he was the bad guy at least.
Yeah, there's like 10 predators in Killer of Killers, and none of them are good dudes. None of them are chill dudes. But yeah, I don't know. I just that poster image came out a couple days ago, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like the pose, he's just spelunking with her on his backpack. I don't know.
Yeah, all
We'll see.
Spider-Man. Quick shout out to the chat. I got Toy Mafia, Six Guns Fig, Sith Scale Collector, King Dingaling.
Oh yeah.
Any occurrences of WoW and then it happens? King Dingaling, I got my eye on you. Manny Fresh 369, Billy Batfish, what's up, buddy?
What Badfish is probably opening Black Series and stuff.
Zach apparently is here.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
okay.
Fish doesn't actually.
Okay,
open
listen, hold
things.
on. If Zach's watching the show, he's doing the WoW somehow because he never
gotta
watches
be.
the show. He never even comments. That's probably the first time Zach's ever commented on a CW movie night. And it's the same. I don't know. Hot Toys Vader dueling God Mailed. Is that the Kenobi one? What are you talking about that for?
No, that's the one with the light, the blue and red, like cell shading on it.
Oh, that was like the
That was
Return of the
the
Jedi
12th
poster. Yeah.
Yeah, it was at
Gotcha.
Celebration.
Badfish is opening Black Series duplicates and pricing the ones he's not keeping.
Okay.
Somebody told him the bandit was here.
Who's saying the
Okay.
bandit was here?
Well, someone in the chat probably told him. Someone who's watching.
Yeah,
someone
I'm
actually
sure.
watching.
No one's watching.
Oh, we got 11 live viewers. That's pretty good for CW movie night. So on to our next topic.
It's the wow
And,
effect.
Yeah, on to our next
Let's
topic.
not let them down.
This is an exciting one for me. All right, so a few days ago, I saw this post online, and here it is. So we got it's from a Facebook group called the Star Wars Garrison, and it's a screenshot of an AI generated Harrison Ford talking to Mark Hamill on Coruscant, and it says episode 7. It's this guy's AIing an alternate episode 7. You got Darth Maul there looking like he's from Solo, and I saw this.
Wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, whatever. Darth Maul was supposed to be the villain of episode 7, according to the notorious GL. So,
wow, it could have been worse, is what you're telling me? Jesus,
dude, it could not have been worse.
You're not wrong. I would have much preferred Darth Maul.
Yeah,
which is saying a lot because I fucking hate that character.
Yeah, but when I saw this, I said, "There's no fucking way Disney's gonna allow this to happen." Like, I just look at how good it looks. Wow. It's
okay.
but look at that, guys, and stop clicking that wow button. Whoever's doing that, that's unprofessional. And I'm pretty sure
the entire show prove my innocence. They're out to get me.
But okay, I don't know about that. But look at this, guys. Like this is a real problem, right? Because here's what happens. Some guy's gonna make an episode 7 that's first of all, there's gonna be 20 variations of episode 7 at once, and about 4 or 5 of them are probably gonna be way better than the one that actually came out officially. That's the world we're gonna be living in 3 years, if not less. And I saw this and I was like, ain't no way Disney is going to allow them to put Ray Park back into Star Wars. so
yeah, he's a little problematic.
Okay.
So I saw that and I was like, no way.
Whips it out one time, he can't be forgiven.
Well, it was what he was doing when he whipped it out. But
yeah, it was like revenge porn.
Yeah, but it has a legal definition. But what do you know? Within a couple days of me
Revenge of the Sith.
Within a couple days of me seeing this post, what happens? But we got Disney and Universal sue AI image Mid-Journey. Look at that. They're coming for him.
Oh, dude, honestly. Oh, this is actually a really interesting topic. I'm glad you brought this up. Because AI learns by stealing, essentially. You know, it pours through the internet, videos, images, and it learns how to create things. That's why, you could create an image, just by a prompt. And a lot of creators and authors, what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to stand up for themselves? Right? Like, if I drew a picture and I had it on the internet and the AI took it and learned from it, and what's the emergency?
Sonic Cause Babies just dropped.
Oh shit, did they?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, send them to me. Or if we could look at them live after we talk about this.
It's in the show sheet chat.
So if you put in a prompt, depending on the artist, you could kind of see your influence in the art. Like, oh, this clearly uses my style of art as a reference or whatever. But what are you supposed to do about it? Yeah. Well, Disney and Universal have all the budget in the world to actually do something about it. So it's like, I kind of fucking hate these fucking corporations, these pieces of shit, but they're actually like the good guys here. And it's like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, finally, like, someone could do something about this. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it is technically theft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna look at some of the specifics in the lawsuit here. So yeah, Disney and Universal are demanding a jury trial, arguing that the actions threaten to upend the bedrock incentives of US copyright law. Midjourney, they said, is the quintessential copyright-free rider and a bottomless pit of plagiarism. So literary. The movie studio said, calling the actions calculated and willful. And I have a few images that Disney and Universal provided to demonstrate this fact here. So, here we got, they're like, here's what Yoda looks like. Yoda's a Disney character in 2025, just so you guys know. It's a fact we have to live with. And so they're like, it's prequel Yoda and Dagobah Yoda mixed together, sitting lazily with his lightsaber. That looks pretty obviously AI to me. I don't think that was a great example.
I agree.
He has the AI face, the je ne sais quoi of the AI face that looks slightly garbagey and not very authentic. Here we got another bad picture of Chewbacca, but I guess the main point is that it's clearly that character. Of course, they used only sequel trilogy images of Chewbacca for the demonstration. Wow.
It's the only one.
Screw those guys.
Wow.
Yeah. Another like I've seen way better AI pictures of Darth Vader than that, but that's what they chose to go with there. And I mean, but I kind of see the point where they're like, at least here you have 2 shots from Empire and 2 shots from, or 1 shot from Rogue One, and that is like, it has a similar background where you can see like the windows from Cloud City sort of look like whatever AI gobbledygook there is in the background behind Vader there.
So my hands are right here the entire time. So
I'm looking at the Sonic stuff.
Dean,
I'm looking at the Sonic stuff on my phone.
You're not looking at this.
That
AI
was Dean's reaction to the Sonic stuff. Wow. What? So who are they going after though? If right, I mean AI. Like I realize there's a source to everything and all, but
yeah,
like, what are they shutting down? Like who are they going after?
Great question, right? So like you're saying, what's the difference between this and fan art? Don't you have to demonstrate that somebody's making money for this to be a problem? And it's Midjourney that's making money. $300 million is what they've been making.
How? on what? Where?
User subscription fees. And if they couldn't generate images like this, a lot less people would be buying because they wouldn't have the capability. That's the argument anyway.
So Midjourney is the tech?
It's like, yeah, it's like a
okay, so they're not so when you say they're making the $300 million whatever, that's selling the tech. That's not selling Disney IP, right?
It's subscription fees, but basically the tech would be a lot less capable if it didn't have free reign on the whole internet as to what it could reference. Basically.
But I guess my thing is that's kind of like if they're not the ones committing the IP theft, they're just the holder of the technology. But Chris, you're the one that's buying the subscription, you're the one that's making it and putting it out there. It's almost kind of and maybe this is a stupid comparison, right? But it's almost like blaming gun manufacturers when somebody goes out and shoots somebody, right? Like, just because I made the technology doesn't mean I made you use it for nefarious purposes.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's like, it's more like if you're downloading movies illegally on the internet, you don't get in trouble. The person who's supplying you the illegal DVD.
Yeah, but in that case, they're supplying the actual content, right? So like if Midjourney was selling you this Homer Simpson's print, then I get it. But they're not putting that together.
They're selling you access to it by they're selling you access to it by stealing it though.
Dude, they fucked up and gave you
I could see where it's going to be cloudy.
They gave you the Simpsons movie Homer. They screwed up. It's got shadows. It's too dynamic.
Feels too
I was
real,
like,
man.
what are you talking about?
It's like the poster of the Simpsons movie Homer. It's not the authentic Homer. They're like,
That's
oh,
funny.
the real Simpsons is too generic animation. We can't throw out something like that. It's some fake lighting or something. But I don't know. It's like, look at all these great Disney characters. Darth Vader, Homer Simpson. Oh man, the world was not meant to last this long. But
Give it a minute.
It's okay. Yeah. It'll be over
Here-
soon.
yeah, here we got a Iron Man that looks as good as any shot from any MCU movie.
It actually does, which is
Yeah, I'd
crazy.
say that one. Now we're talking. That one is a problem.
In fact, that shot where he's like weirdly flatly standing next to the Empire State Building doesn't look as real as the Mid-Journey one.
Well, the one on
Yeah.
the Mid-Journey one looks like the same like color grading as like the Civil War movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Where
just
it's like
pretty
kind
much
of blue.
desaturated.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
But they even included some 2D 90s Disney here. They're like, look, he's copying Aladdin. And here's a Universal one, How to Train Your Dragon, which, you know, it looks as good or better than any shot in the movie, I suppose.
Nah,
The dragon's
he
a
has-
bit weird.
he has 2 feet there. That's not accurate. Hiccup
That's a
loses
good
his
point.
foot in the first movie.
Okay, I don't know I haven't seen that film.
Wow, you're missing out.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon? Don't watch the sequels. Just watch the first movie.
Okay.
The sequels ruin the movie.
And here's one that was
They're not great, but
God
This is-
damn.
this is the example that a lot of media outlets picked up when they ran this story. Pretty clear that that the source image from Disney made it into the library here. Even the
Yeah,
tree
that's
is on the
Crazy close.
yeah.
Because, you know, I feel like, especially now, because AI goes so fast. I mean, it wasn't even like a couple of years ago where it's like you couldn't even do a hand. Everybody would have like 8 fingers.
yeah.
But now,
now-
it's like,
The costume is accurate. Like if
it's
you look at the
so
belt,
accurate.
yeah, and the top part, it looks pretty close.
And they could like I've seen some janky shit where like maybe they gave him 2 gauntlets, you know, but it's like it's getting fucking specific.
But even with
Yeah.
that janky stuff, like a dedicated Mid-Journey user is just gonna like prompt again and fix it. You know what I mean? Or get it in
Right.
Photoshop. And Photoshop is using AI now too to correct things. Like you can use generative AI to fill backgrounds and stuff in Adobe Photoshop now. Here's another one from Endgame. I can't tell the difference, especially on that wide shot. Like that could be like 2 seconds apart in the movie, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's like, yeah,
I don't even know which. I'm assuming the one on the right is the original. I don't even know. I honestly can't tell.
on some
I
of
think
these
so
they
on
actually
the top ones, at least on
Yeah,
the
I
top one, the group photo, the Winter Soldier and the Black Widow look a little sketchy.
yeah, and there's 2 characters that look very similar on the right in the background. But I don't know if that I haven't seen Endgame, believe it or not, guys. Hate to break it to you. But
There's 2 Black Panthers on the right. I think
There
there's
you
one
go.
with the mask and one without.
that'll do it. So and this and on some of these they actually even showed what the prompts were, which and some of them don't even actually reference the copyrighted IPs. Okay, so here we go. Here's where they're really worried about. You know, they're worried about old man Luke Skywalker coming back and kicking some ass, something they denied us, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Let's use AI for good.
They'll fucking spend all the money on the fucking planet to stop from doing Luke any justice.
Right?
Yeah. So
They're
they're
like,
saying
no,
what
we
the-
character assassinated him. He's fucking gone. Right, Kevin?
So there's-
fucking cocksuckers.
It pisses me off because this looks so fucking good right here. Like, I want this
saying-
hot toy.
They're saying that the prompt was man in robes with light sword, movie screen cap.
Wow.
Not even referencing Star Wars or Mark Hamill or Luke Skywalker in any way.
style raw. It's the only
Yeah.
way.
So basically, yeah, this is gonna be a thing, guys. Like, are you excited for AI generated episode 7? Or like,
Well, when you put it that way, I might be. Right? Like
because
I said, looking at this, I'm like, hell yeah, let's
Yeah.
fucking go.
Yeah,
'Cause here's
because
the
I've seen it's only about like maybe 15 seconds you could push an AI video before it starts getting real janky. But I've seen some pretty compelling shit that's come out where you're like, God damn, like if you didn't specifically tell me this was fake, I would assume it's real. There's a lot of like on the street interviews, you know,
Yeah.
that are just completely fabricated. And you're like, holy shit, like this is getting wild. So I mean, you could probably stitch together a pretty decent scene in Star Wars with 15-second, you know, you change the camera angle every 15 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's got the time and the dedication, they could easily fabricate a whole fucking movie. Because it's not just, God damn it, it's not just visuals. AI voices are getting fucking crazy.
yeah,
Um,
Darth Vader, man, in Fortnite. That's all that is.
right? Or and not only like I saw this fucking hilarious AI video of Donald Trump. And not only is it the sound of his voice, it's like the cadence in which he speaks. You know, because Donald Trump like repeats himself and then he'll like backtrack for a second and then move on to the sentence. Like he's got a really funny way of speaking. And it's
Yeah.
like the AI is even getting that now. And it's only been, I mean, really
Yeah.
like
Well,
2 or
the-
3 years of solid like
but
pushing
the thing is,
AI.
with the voice stuff, it's like it's crazier than even that. Like just like I do corporate video stuff for work, and like just in my regular day to day, there's stuff like you can do a line read like how you want the delivery to be, and then have a different voice applied, but it's like use the cadence and like spacing
Right.
from this
Dude.
first read, and then so like if you're good at doing a Trump impersonation, you can do that and then paste his real voice on top of your pacing.
And it's even crazier than that because I've seen people take the voice but change the language in which they're speaking. So it'll be like my voice, but I'm speaking Spanish or Japanese or whatever. And it's like, holy fucking shit, I've never made those noises in my fucking life.
Yeah, that's the
How
thing,
is
right?
it doing that? It's fucking crazy.
Well, like this is gonna really impact stuff like dubbing for movies. Like you're never gonna see a movie like when you switch languages on your streaming service in a year or two, it's not gonna look mismatched. Like they're gonna AI the lips to match.
Yeah, the lips
other
too. I've
language.
seen that.
Yeah.
It's getting wild, dude. I know there's a huge push right now with like the SAG-AFTRA people. Because there's a lot of voice actors in gaming that are like, they just fucking use AI and they're taking our fucking gerbs. And it's like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
And
well, they're not union. I mean, productions, right? That's the thing, right? Like for like video games, you don't have to use union actors per se. So
well, I saw, and I was debating with my sister about this the other day. Somebody created a Jack and Daxter fan game, all completely made by him. He did everything, but he used AI voice of the original actor that played Jack or whoever, Daxter. And the guy was like, I never gave permission for this person to use my voice. And that's where you start getting into the murky kind of, because like with the James Earl Jones thing, he signed that away. Like, I'm okay with you using my voice to continue on the character. So I don't know if they're going to have to pass some crazy laws to stop this kind of stuff, but This is where it starts with Disney and Universal fucking stepping in to
Well,
stop this shit. It's like it
yeah.
takes evil to stop evil sometimes.
Well, yeah, exactly. Six Guns Figs here says, imagine another Arnold action movie where he looked like he's in his prime. That would be wild.
Oh, dude.
I mean, he's like
Sign me up.
Arnold's like the canary in the coal mine, because it was all the way back in 2008 where they first tried to CGI a young Arnold for Terminator Salvation. But
there's a show on Netflix called Fubar with Arnold. It's pretty good. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not. It's like new Arnold content.
Yeah. He's like an ex-CIA agent, and his family had no idea that he was CIA. They just thought he was like a piece of shit because he was always gone. And he finally retires, and he somehow gets dragged back into it. And then it turns out his daughter is also secretly in the CIA, and they end up working together. And so she's kind of reconciled. This is all in the first episode.
Okay.
She has to like reconcile, like, oh, he's not a piece of shit because I'm living that life that he had to live, and I understand why he did what he did.
Wholesome.
And it's a comedy action, and it's really good. The second season just came out. I was watching it last night. I say give it a watch. I like Arnold, so anything he's in, I'll give it a shot. And
yeah,
I didn't hate it.
I love Arnold. I found it hard to watch just because of his age. Just
Fubar?
watching him get around a little bit was just kind of, again, it's nothing to do with the show specifically, just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like watching Han
man-
Solo
my
run
man's
down the
old.
corridor in
Yeah,
episode
that's
7.
exactly it. Yeah.
it's not the years, it's the miles, and Arnold has
It's the
put on a lot of
mileage.
miles. Yeah, man. But
But dude, he's still fucking jacked. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's
dude, he wants to do the 75-year-old Conan the Barbarian movie. But
that'd be sick, dude.
King Conan would be amazing.
That would be sick.
yeah, he once in a while he puts out a social media video saying like, we got a script. Somebody needs to sign a check. Let's
How is
go.
that not happening? Like,
People are
that's
dumb.
crazy to me.
Because
Dude.
he's lowered his brand value by like doing a bunch of weird stuff. Like, he did this movie with Jackie Chan where he wears like a 1700s like wig, and like he's really bad. He's done like cheap weird stuff for the last like few years, and that's sort of like
But he's always done that. It's just not sticking now, right? I mean, Kindergarten Cop and Twins is essentially
Oh,
the same
okay.
thing. Just no,
Kindergarten.
Stay with me. It's essentially the same thing, but just a successful version of it.
Hey, okay.
Right, but he's
okay.
taking the same chances of doing silly, goofy roles, trying to get out of, he knows he can't be, the fucking Terminator anymore. So I get it. It's just not landing like it used
dude.
to.
He was the Terminator like last week. What do you mean? They keep
Not
doing
well.
But yeah, I don't know. That's I mean, yeah, that's all right.
I see the benefits of AI. I do.
Yeah.
Like, it would be cool to see Arnold like that again. But also at the same time, it's like, but you got to make room for someone else to do it. What are we going to be watching Arnold for the rest of our lives? Like,
I
yes.
hope so.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw.
I love Arnold. I would watch him for the rest of my life, but then you're not giving somebody else on the shot,
Oh, fuck that.
I saw like a Gen Z. I came across like a Gen Z YouTube reaction channel where it was just like two like 22-year-old girls watching old Arnold movies and reacting to it, and I'm like, the dream is alive, boys. Somebody's paying attention to that stuff.
Not to get off topic, but you said that I've gone down a TikTok or a YouTube hole lately where I watch these videos of like younger people watching like rock bands like AC/DC and stuff perform Thunderstruck. It's the first time they're here, and they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, okay, come on."
I was watching this one video. It was so funny. It was these young kids, and they were listening to Akon. He was doing some kind of live performance, and they were like, "Oh man, this guy is good. He's gonna go places." And everyone was like, "Gonna? It's fucking Akon. What are you talking about? He's fucking one of the biggest music stars ever." It's like they had never heard of him, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for him to go places."
Oh
That was a
God.
thing that was going on when Paul McCartney did that song with Kanye.
Kanye,
Right?
yeah.
People are like, man, this Paul kid's gonna go places. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, it happened with Ozzy and Post Malone too, man. Like it's you can't
Yeah.
believe this stuff. But yeah, so like I have a couple more things I wanted to talk about if you guys are good on time here.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell
Let's
yeah.
see. All right, so it's CW movie night, so why wouldn't we talk about space aliens? Obviously, it makes perfect sense.
Dude,
So
hell yeah.
so I'm hoping this doesn't become a YouTube copyright issue. I think because a couple days ago, I'm talking like 2 days ago, Jeremy Corbell leaked another supposedly US government video of a space alien spaceship flying around, captured possibly on a satellite or some other high altitude platform. And let's take a look at it. We can talk over it. This clip's about 1 minute and 15 seconds long here. Dean, you got to pay attention, bro. You're gonna miss it. All right.
All
Yeah,
right.
I need
Someone
Dean's
was DMing me.
Put
I
the
need
cos
Dean's
babies away.
commentary. I need Dean's commentary on this space alien ship that is supposedly from a U.S. government platform that has been leaked 2 days ago by Jeremy Corbell, that he has talked to government officials who say that they've seen this same video on classified government servers. So he broke it up into 3 clips here. This first one,
Is this the sky?
this first one, yeah. So this is maybe a satellite looking down. We don't actually know for sure. The nerds are going to analyze the data on the sides here, and we'll probably have some more news over that. So I didn't see anything there.
Did I miss
But,
it? Oh,
Yeah. So there's 2 more clips here. So like, look at that. You see that?
Okay.
that little specky thing?
Up
Yeah,
top,
okay.
up top middle. No, top, not the little specky thing.
Oh, that looks like from the movie.
From Nope. It looks like
Yeah,
Nope,
Nope.
bro. But look, you can see it going into and out of clouds though, which it's like it's not. And I mean, I don't know. There's like the zoomed out shot. You can see like system data on the screen, and it's like I don't know, man. This was leaked 2 days ago. Well, it's not acknowledged by the U.S. government that it's even a video that exists. Whatever platform recorded it is probably classified, but it's kind of interesting, right? I don't know.
So we just went from AI generated movies to this, right?
satellite
I mean,
video.
so it's almost kind of like, right? It leaks into this too, right? Am I supposed to believe that this is not AI? I don't know anymore.
Well, when it comes down to it, though, it's all about chain of custody, right? So it's like there's 3 videos that are the Tic Tac, the Go Fast, and another one where the Navy actually said those are our videos. So like I'm pretty confident those are not AI because the Navy said, yeah, we might have recorded those videos after they got leaked. No such comment has come out about this one yet, but I mean that looks pretty crazy. I would say it might be a disc or it might be a sphere, but it doesn't match anything that you see flying around most of the time. It looks a little bit weird. Yeah. But that's cool. So that was just 2 days ago. But damn aliens are real. That's the main point, guys. And they got flying spheres or discs. And they're probably, if you watch for it, I feel like so much of this stuff comes out. Like there was another whistleblower that Corbell did an interview with a couple weeks ago. He was saying like he worked at the CIA and he saw like all kinds of crazy pictures of like a triangle ship hovering above Soviet submarines and like like pictures from the 90s of all kinds of crazy stuff. And I feel like these stories just have no legs. Like they don't get outside of a very small sphere of the people who are watching for that sort of content. And it seems strange to me because like right now there's nothing to say that that's not a completely legitimate video captured by a U.S. defense platform. And
you just said it, Chris, and that kind of sums up why I don't get excited about these videos, right? because they never have any legs. None of them ever goes anywhere. Right? Yeah, I know it only takes one. It only takes the first time, right? But it's like this is all we'll ever get. Maybe somebody, some retired general somewhere will say, "Yeah, it was real. We'll prove it." Well, I can't. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
the
it's
nice
fun.
thing
I love
is,
it. I want to see all the videos and I want to talk about all the videos, but it's
yeah,
like, how many times is this all we're gonna get? Like, when's the next big
yeah.
jump? You
Well,
know,
the
I want
fun
to
thing
see
about
it.
this
I want to
one,
see Bigfoot.
the fun thing about that video we just watched is Corbell himself has been sitting on it for 5 years. He's had it for 5 years, and he's talked to people who have the correct classifications to see it on government servers, and he didn't show them it, but they described the same thing over several years.
What's
And
his name?
he's Jeremy Corbell. He's done a few documentaries, and he works with George Knapp, who's been studying this stuff forever. He's the guy who actually broke the Bob Lazar story in 1989. But yeah, man, it's well, there's a bit. Six Guns Figs knows the lore.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah. So Jeremy Corbell,
Yeah,
in
and
my
I
opinion,
mean, he's
is
not
pretty
wrong
annoying.
though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
every advancement in technology we have, the government has had 10 years prior to us even knowing about it.
Yeah, but this is like
Right? So
70
like these things are
years.
always possible, you know.
Yeah, but it's got to the point where, like, if it is their stuff, they're basically holding the world back from free energy because of how disruptive they think it's going to be, and that has humanitarian implications and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, exactly. But has
Yeah.
there ever been an example in human history
Well,
that egregious? That's
I
the
don't.
question, right?
I also don't understand this. Like the whole like, oh, they don't want us to have free energy because they couldn't, charge us for it.
It's not
But
that,
it's
Dean.
like-
It's not, Dean. But that you're missing the point right off the bat. I'm sorry to say, it's not just that.
Okay.
It's that any, how like right now, like any guy in his basement can make a better episode 7 than Disney. It's
Sure.
instead of that, it's any guy in his basement can make a nuclear arsenal with free energy. It's not just trains and getting rid of fossil fuels. It's anyone can do anything with that kind of technology. So it's like, unless you've reached a certain level of everybody is like a Buddhist monk, it's a world killer. It could be that.
But yeah, didn't you watch
Fair.
The Dark Knight Rises? I mean, that's essentially what was going on in that movie, right? Like Bruce Wayne found the source to free unlimited energy, but he realized what was going to happen if he puts it out there, so he buries it. It's that same.
You mean to
theory.
say that Dark Knight Rises is a documentary?
Yes, I'm Batman.
Yeah, Six Guns Figs is up on the lore. It's possible they've had it for 70 years, and it's just so disruptive that they can't put it out there because some dingus is going to ruin it for everyone. That's really what it comes down to.
You're not wrong. There's fucking warning labels on soap. So, yeah.
Q-tips say nowhere on the packaging that you're allowed to put them in your ears, or that's even a remotely.
Well, you
recommended
are
idea.
allowed. You're a free American, but
It's
you
it's
should
not what they're advertised
Well,
as.
some of us
Well,
are.
you're not American.
Close enough.
Someday, you know what? We take
Yeah.
them.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's
I legitimately, Chris, I've never heard that argument, but it makes sense. I
Really?
always hear they want to keep us down. They want to keep us paying, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but they could still, it's like water, right? I could technically go get water for free, but I pay for the access to the technology to just get water into my house, right? So it's like the same thing. It's like you could just pay for the access to the free energy, and it's not like, a detriment to the fucking environment,
Yeah.
right? They're not burning coal to create the electricity. They're not, there's no nuclear reactor. Nuclear is clean energy, but it's, it can be very dangerous. So it's
Yeah.
like, you could still
Yeah, but I
charge
think
people
there's-
access to it.
I think there's still the element of, you know, you're not wrong, right? You can just, but now it comes down to who's making the money, right? And also versus what you're charging, right? It's kind of the same theory. I'm thinking a way of like, you know, the theory of they could cure cancer, but they make more money by treating it instead of curing it, right? Kind of the same thing. Like they will make more money by not giving it to you than they would if they would. And then you know what I mean? Then, like you said, you would pay to get access to it, but not to the levels of what you would be paying now.
Yeah.
That deserved it.
Yeah. That did deserve it.
I
Well,
just-
also like, but
Go
you could arbitrarily, like, let's just say you get cancer and the treatment's going to cost $300,000 or whatever. If
Yeah.
they had the cure, they could just charge $300,000 for the cure. They still make their money. Now, that's if they're not fucking greedy pieces of shit, which of course
Well,
they
there's
are.
the problem, right?
Yeah.
Because a cure, if I pay you a one-time fee of $3,000 for the cure, or I could pay you $3,000 a year for the next 20, 30 years of my life.
Right.
Yeah, but
You know,
but it's worse than that.
Because in order to make up for that, they would then have to charge the cure such a ridiculous price to, like you said, now you're the worst person on earth, right?
Yeah, but
If
what?
it's,
But
hey, I can cure your cancer for $100,000. Well, what the fuck?
But it's worse than that, guys. They might have just run the numbers and they realized that if they offer a cure for cancer for $100,000 in 30 years, 78% of the population will be 75 years old or older, and nobody's going to be like producing any GDP. Like it could be just an unsustainable system as soon as you remove that one variable. And I think that's part of what it is with like the energy thing. It's also like, look at car accident statistics. Like, just imagine you give everyone flying cars tomorrow. How many of those accidents are just people crashing into somebody else's house rather than a fender bender on the road the next day? You know what I mean? Like, it's
They
like
do that now. Every time I turn on the news, there's a fucking car in somebody's living room.
Yeah, but it's going to be in the house that's like 3 blocks like away from the highway. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's too disruptive. I think that's the fear, right? But when you have stuff like this leaking, like this video, it's captured by a US military platform. I don't think there's any debate about that. It's either completely CGI or it's legitimately captured by, first of all, it was the alleged, Jeremy Corbell alleges that he first got this video 5 years ago. So technically it predates AI video if he's telling the truth about that. And I'm sure he has some sort of paper trail for that. But basically it's completely fake CGI, or it's something that, you know, your government who you pay tax dollars to saw it and they said, I don't think I want to tell Mike and Dean about this because it's not gonna
Nobody tells me
not-
anything.
they don't want to.
Nobody tells me nothing.
Johnny Tight Lips, but it's not.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm still maintaining that these are government crafts.
But what are they doing with them? Where are they being deployed for the last 50 years?
Wherever the fuck they want. They don't.
No one ever sees them. They're not in the Ukraine. They're not in Israel, Afghanistan, Pakistan,
There's
Iraq.
fucking UFO sightings all over the world. What are you talking about?
They're not doing any of the meaningful conflict that's on the front lines that makes the news, that results in nations surrendering. Where are they? You know what I mean? It's like that's what I don't understand about it.
I just
Maybe-
feel
maybe
like
they've used that tech somewhere else.
With the war in Ukraine, we're doing like a lend-lease program on all our military equipment. And they send over jets that are like 40 years old that are very capable still. Capable aircraft. And it's like, we're not going to send you our fucking F-22s, which are light years ahead in terms of technology. And those are already retired. They don't even use the F-22 anymore. I think they just announced the
So
what is it? The F-40.
I think there's
46?
a 35. I don't know. Yeah.
It's the same number as Trump's presidency. Is he 46?
Okay. Yeah, I think.
I think
so.
it's the F-46. I think it's a coincidence, but it's the F-46 or something.
The golden F-46.
Yeah, all gold. And it's like,
It's the best.
it's like, hey, the rest of the world, you can have the 40-year-old scrap. We're keeping the good shit, and there's even better shit that we don't even fucking want you to know about.
So you think
Just in case shit goes down, you're not even going to be able to fucking prepare for what. You know what I mean?
Okay, but but how do you make a scientific breakthrough that significant in a vacuum and hang on to it without someone else coincidentally discovering it for like decades? That's where I think I personally believe it has to be something that came from someone who's had millions years longer to figure this stuff out.
Brother. How many people, and you and I have watched a lot of conspiracy videos and stuff, and Mike, I'm sure you have too. How many of these motherfuckers start whistleblowing and die?
Dude, I'm just saying, okay, but where's the Edward
I'm
Snowden?
just saying that's how you keep that shit secret. You fucking kill anyone that's...
Dude,
it's not right.
Edward Snowden.
Again, if you guys have watched The Dark Knight Rises, what do they do with the guy that knows how to turn the fucking bomb off? They kill him. Dude.
Okay,
that's how they control it.
Edward Snowden saw his buddies at the office like sniping nude pictures being sent between boyfriends and girlfriends, and he's like, God damn it, I won't stand for it. I'm gonna live in Russia the rest of my life.
Hey, Hank Hill.
That's not how he talks.
God damn it, Bobby.
So where's that
using
guy?
A charcoal grill instead
Was that your American accent, Chris? God damn.
Dude, I'm so excited for King of the Hill coming back. I'm gonna sign up for Paramount Plus just for that. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get into. And we've had this discussion before. I'm not gonna really get into theology and stuff right now, but someone, let's just say the universe. I forget how old it is. It's old, like
13.8 billion years.
13. I thought it was like 40. Okay, 13.8 billion,
roughly.
It took us this long to get to where we're at.
Okay,
right?
so here's the real trip, right?
This is a real trip. Have you seen the galactic calendar?
No, I haven't.
So if the Big Bang is at 12 midnight on January 1st, modern day humans don't show up until like the middle of September. Yeah, not even modern. You're talking like cavemen.
Yeah, and that's like 200,000 years.
Yeah, where we're at modern history, where people start writing shit down, it's like 11:59.5 at December 31st. Like,
which is exactly my point, Dean. Why is it so implausible that someone else had a modicum of a head start, which would put them so far beyond us that you don't even know what you're looking at?
But also, I think it's just as likely as someone had to be first.
Yeah, but like we had a planet where the dinosaurs sat on their asses for 100 million years, did nothing. Like somebody else might have been working during that time.
What if they were amoebas during that time? The dinosaurs had a head start. You know what I mean? Like, it's just as plausible. And then you could also get into the multiverse theory where everything. Have you heard of like I think it's the.
Okay, Dean, you don't want to get into religion, and I respect that, but like, I just don't understand what Christians have against aliens existing. You know, like
the Bible doesn't say anything about them.
Yeah, but Bible doesn't say anything about like every scientific discovery, like borderline ever. So like, what does that have to do? Bible didn't know about microbiology or like extrasolar planets or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Right. And and I get what you're saying. Because we go down a deep rabbit hole. Okay. So the Bible, as a God-fearing Christian, you know, it says we were his creation. Right? God created us because he loved us and gave us free will. Sent us down here. It didn't say he created a bunch of things and scattered them all over the universe. It said he created us. He made the earth for us. So that's where it's like, I mean, if aliens were a thing and they were crash landing all over the place, like, I feel like at this point in history, we would have one fucking alien.
Dean, we got like 10. Your government
But
won't
do
know
we?
it, bro.
That's all conjecture.
Yeah, it's conjecture because in the same way that the Manhattan Project was conjecture until the bomb got dropped, bro. That's all it is.
I know, but it's like no one's caught something on video. I mean, the
Dude,
government.
what did we just watch, bro? What is that?
It's unidentified. You can't say for a fact that's an alien.
What
The
is
government
it then?
the government has fucking ships we didn't even know about for 50 years before
And
they
they're-
showed it off.
And they're filming their own shit just for fun and sharing it on servers, being like,
You think
"Oh,
every service member in the military knows what the government's doing? No. The fucking Navy's
Yeah, but
not
somebody-
like, hey guys,
Yeah,
we're
but-
going to be flying a secret ship tomorrow.
okay,
Don't
but
film.
the way it's been expressed to me, the way it's been conveyed to me is that there are servers where if you have a certain level of classified access, it's almost like a social media where it's like if something gets classified a certain level, they're allowed to pop it on like it's on a certain server and people can see it and comment on it, whatever.
Right.
So if a video like this has been up there for 5 years and it's actually a black project, somebody from above plucks it the fuck off of there. That's what they do.
But again,
So when
you're
talking,
taking
you're talking the United States government, right?
Yeah, the one that has
Okay,
the aliens.
so right. So why are they only here? There's no
Because- okay,
Canada doesn't have any aliens. Iran
okay,
doesn't have any
okay,
aliens.
yes.
Oh,
So, like,
actually,
China?
Chris, I think I know what you're going to say. And yeah.
yeah, well, it's because the U.S. slaps it out of everyone's hands the second they get a hold of it. In
Well,
fact, David Grush testified to
yeah.
Congress that exactly happened when Mussolini went down. They had David Grush testified to your Congress that when Mussolini went down, the Vatican facilitated the transfer of a derelict alien spaceship to the American government.
Also,
That
It
was
did-
told to your Congress.
they did say this when we watched the Virginia thing. The U.S. military was there the next day to get whatever shit was going on.
And what are they going
But
to do?
The way I've heard it described, and again, it's all theories and you know, it's fun. I do enjoy talking about this stuff. Is the crashes at Area 51 or in Roswell, New Mexico, back in the 50s were like aliens, and the government was there to scoop it all up and collect a living alien thing.
Obviously.
And they struck up a deal with the US government that will trade you technology and basically power if you let us kind of run amok on the planet. That's why there's like UFO sightings. They're like doing some kind of research or something. And
What else are you
you know,
going to do?
people get abducted by aliens. The government willingly lets aliens abduct people to run experiments in exchange for technology. They're basically using us as lab rats as payment to the aliens for technology. That's how I've heard it described. That's
Where's the
why the
line?
US government kind of has the foothold on aliens. It's because they made a deal with America.
I see no I got no problem with that. Anyways,
Right.
yeah.
You've
you know,
never heard
well,
that?
No, of
Chris?
course I have. Of course.
Oh,
I
okay.
have.
I was like, I feel like I'm speaking like
Yeah.
most people
No,
that
but
watch
listen.
this kind of stuff have heard that before.
Listen, David Grush told your Congress that here's how all you said. There have been agreements. That's
Yeah.
all he said.
Yeah, and there's like photos of like really weird looking people. They look like people,
Yeah,
but
that
they're
happened.
like weird looking in like these old government photos, and they're like, oh, those are like the aliens. They're like disguised or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Again,
But,
you have to take all this stuff with a grain of salt because the government also runs disinformation, and a lot of people in the UFO community are ex-military members or currently still work for the government running disinformation campaigns to either discredit someone else or to just confuse people. Like, you really can't. This is as good as it's getting right here, basically. Us discussing what the possibilities are.
yeah. But, new videos get leaked. Rob Barr says...
Rob is asking the real questions.
Yeah, why are they obsession with anal probes? Don't they have their own? Well,
They
the
may
whole
not.
thing with let me tell you, Rob, the whole thing with anal probes started with one guy called Whitley Strieber, who's still out there doing interviews, who says that he got abducted from his cottage in the Hamptons in the late 80s, and that's what they did to him. And he wrote it in a book about what happened to him, and it's been a meme ever since. But it might have just been that one guy. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think this was a pretty successful stream, guys. I don't know. I think we covered a lot here. There's just one last quick thing I want to run through, just to a shameless self promotion here for anyone who is remotely near the Canadian border. You guys should come hang out in September. And basically, me and my friends are running a small convention called May the North Be With You. Hey, Fern, thanks for joining like in the 11th hour. Appreciate you. Your comments during the alien content would have been appreciated. But yeah, basically,
well, he's a different kind of alien.
Yeah, but but
too soon.
I can't confirm or deny that. I think he's been doing a lot of work, so that'd be hard to believe for me. But yeah, man, believe it or not, it's the 4th year me and my friends have run this small convention in the Toronto area where we get a bunch of Star Wars nerds together. And this year it's September 12th to 14th in Oakville, Ontario. And we're basing it at the Holiday Inn there. On our first night, this is the level of nerds we are here. The first night, we're going to get a tour of the original Kenner Canada factory, where the 3 3/4 figures were made in the dang 70s.
Wow.
And we're going to go down there into the dark, dingy dungeons with the people who actually made them back in the day. And that's going to be a good time. We're going to have a bar there, which is also cool. So, go ahead. What?
Sorry, Chris. I'm curious. What is this building used for today?
It was actually converted into lofts, it's called the Toy Factory Lofts now.
Wow,
so they actually
cool.
named it after the what it used to be, basically. But some of the basement areas where we're gonna have a party set up on Friday, September 12th. Kind of look how they did back in the day, and there are some very iconic Canadian exclusive Star Wars items like that R2 you can see in the thumbnail there, which has nothing but a black card back that says Empire Strikes Back. Basically, was a weird Canadian exclusive that was made in that basement where we're gonna be partying that night. But yeah. Go ahead.
This is a month after OxCon, or the next month following OxCon, so I don't think I can go. But this might be a really stupid question.
I thought OxCon was in November.
Yeah, this would be like 2 months before.
Oh, 2 months before.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
This is September 12th, yeah.
For some reason I thought September was after November. I'm a fucking moron.
The aliens got to him.
Yeah. In my tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
This might be a stupid question, but I've seen conflicting things on the internet, like YouTube videos and stuff.
Of what?
Do you need a passport to go to Canada?
I think you didn't before 9/11, but now you do.
Yeah, you do now. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
But believe it or not, guys, they're not that hard to get as long as you don't have a criminal record.
Yeah.
It would take me a day and 8 minutes to drive there.
I wouldn't be
not
upset
stopping for sleep.
Well, do stop for sleep, but still come. But yeah, so that's the Friday
Pick me up
night.
on the way, Dean.
This is a 3-day event, boys. We get crazy. So the Friday we're going to the original Kenner factory. The Saturday we have special guests doing panels a super Illuminati buy sell trade session and trivia with 100 of the biggest Star Wars nerds you'll ever meet, and I won last year, just so you guys know. And which having an event organizer win is not good optics, but it plays out how it plays out, boys. That's just what it is. And then on the Sunday we have a very more traditional toy show where we're gonna have vendor tables. Manny wants to come, and we got Paul Blake coming. We rented Greedo himself, who played Greedo in A New Hope, and he's the Greedo. There's two actors who played Greedo. This is the guy who, anytime you see Greedo in the same shot as Harrison Ford, that's this guy, and he's
Nice.
coming down for our show. And then Jim Swearingen is the guy who basically invented 3 3/4 action figures. This guy was 27 years old working at Kenner, and they said, why don't you go take an early preview screening of this Star Wars thing and see if there's anything we should do with that. And he got to see Star Wars in a private screening before it came out, and he called Kenner back and he's like, we have to make this happen, basically. And that's the reason that everything that all of us are involved with exists, and it's probably the reason CW exists, basically.
That seems like a pretty big get, if I'm being honest.
Well, he was started there pretty young, but he basically was the guy who was like, we better make these figures small. So because when I watch this movie, the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter are pretty much, you need to make them small enough that you can incorporate those details into your toy line.
G.I. Joes, yeah.
Yeah. But this is when G.I. Joes were still 12-inch at this time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty early. So he did that, and then we also got Roger Christian, who designed all the weapons for the original Star Wars movie, including the Graflex lightsabers, E11 Stormtrooper blaster, Han's blaster. He lives in Toronto, so he's come out to a few of our events. He's a great guy. And he also second unit directed Return of the Jedi and The Phantom Menace. So he has some crazy behind the scenes stories. He shot half of the duel with Darth Maul at the end of episode 1. And never mind designing all the weapons in Star Wars they continue to use to this day.
How much is this? I see early bird and general admission.
Well, the toy show you can roll in for $10 Canadian, but the Saturday is $150.
God damn.
Yeah, but it's capped at 100 people, so there's probably 10 or 12 tickets left, to be honest.
But I know you, so how much is it for me?
Yeah. If you make the drive, you're indie, and that's as simple as that. But
dude, that's a long ass drive. Mike, you're pretty close. Would you think about going to something like this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would consider it. The only thing is I think that's the same weekend we usually go down to Florida. So
there you go. It's always something, we moved it around, but it
is always something.
Yeah, I'll get through here quick. This is another guy we have coming out is Brian LeMay. This guy worked on the Droids and Ewoks cartoons in Toronto. It's the only Star Wars thing that was actually produced in Canada, basically the holiday special cartoon, which, when we had John Silvestri on movie night, he worked for the same company, this guy, and he worked on the Droids and Ewoks cartoons, and he's going to be selling, he has a booth, and he's going to be selling production artwork from those days, from those shows. And I've bought a bunch of stuff from him. He's a cool guy. And he worked on Inspector Gadget as well, if you're into that. And so basically, if there's such a thing as the vintage Star Wars collecting Illuminati, these two guys are the ringleaders. And they're coming to our show, and they've written 5 books on prop collecting from Star Wars and prototypes of the original figures. And they're teaming up with Steve Sansweet from Rancho Obi-Wan to make this massive unlicensed Star Wars museum, and they're currently shopping for a location for it. It's going to be called the Saga Museum. So Gus Lopez and Duncan Jenkins are going to have a panel at our show about setting up the Saga Museum, because these guys have they have, aside from crazy collections, they have probably the biggest amount of screen used original trilogy props that are in private collections. Gus here has the original Death Star model from A New Hope in his front stairway, and he's gonna try and put it in this museum if they get it set up.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, this picture is them doing a panel at Celebration Japan from last month, I think it was. Yeah, and there's Paul Blake, Greedo, and Jim with like there's like the original Boba Fett figure that was kit bashed out of a few of the first 12 figures. That was like handmade. And then
Is
there's
he, Chris, is he retired or is he still involved with the company?
he's the company got purchased by Hasbro in 2000 actually, so it's not really a thing anymore. He's retired. He's a youthful 70 something years old, but and Roger Christian, who I think he recently turned 80 actually. Happy birthday. But there's him and GL on the set of Phantom Menace out in the desert. Yeah. And here he is signing a Graflex hilt, which he designed almost 50 years ago at our show last year. And a couple, there's a katana for sale at our show last year. But yeah, it's at the Holiday Inn in Oakville, Ontario. If you're crazy enough to come out, there's very minimal tickets left for the Saturday, but the Sunday is a free for all, and all the special guests will be there. But yeah. I don't know. Let's wrap it up, boys. We got our Patreon read here. We got Captain Fordo, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, David Jones, Sam Gist, Eric Schweitzer, Six Guns Figs, Badfish, Luke Skywalker, Griffin Campbell, Aaron Broverman. Does that just say comics? Is that a real person?
I think it's supposed to be something else, but Zach hasn't updated.
Okay. And Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Big Fern, Six Guns hang out for the whole show. Appreciate you, buddy. You know your stuff, man. Yeah, Deanie Martin, Big Fern, Caesar American, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Jose CZ, Tucothry, Wah, Aries Portillo, Alvin J, Aurelius Delgado, Toy Cartel, Sean Forrester, Manny Fresh, 369, Joe Corpus, Pablo Meza, Cam Collects. That's another new one for me, but I have missed like 3 weeks of streams. Harry Dempsey, Mr. Musashi, Sith Scale Collector, Jared Gagne, Alberto Cortez, Big Rib, The Big Donk. I think that's a new one for me too. Trevor Weed, Darren Ilderton, Domaton, Stephen Pritcha, Sean Yautsy, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Exodus, Abe Dunk TV, Gigi the Judgmental, and Classy Thomas. And what else we got here? We got the Dean soap that I believe if you're a top tier, what's the $25 a month tier called? If you're one of those guys, you're getting sent a soap. Is that right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And other than that, I think you'll be able to buy one while supplies last. Price TBD, I think. Whenever that gets sorted out. And then Zach was previewing some action figure stickers of the main show hosts here. I did a little bit of Photoshop work on these when the AI didn't get them right, and that was a fun back and forth with Zach to fix Eddie's, because Eddie's first version, he looked like a combination of Hank and Bobby Hill combined. Yeah. And we redid that one. But these are exciting. I guess that's going to be like 2 of those will probably be on the when they sort of turn over the stickers. And yeah, we're celebrating 75,000 subscribers, which apparently is a real thing. That's crazy.
You know what's crazier? Tuesday was Zach's birthday, and I was looking for a post from last year's birthday, and on his birthday last year, we had just hit 4,000 subs.
Yeah, but that was before the short game breaking thing that happened.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. How but that first 4,000, I tell you guys, that was well earned. I don't know what happened since then. Chaos, wow. The algorithm broke. I don't know, but it's crazy.
I showed up. What are you talking about?
Well, that's
like 70 of my closest friends. 70,000.
Oh God. Yeah, all of that personally brought them. But yeah, I think what is it? So Marco, you're doing a giveaway for like 4 of these shirts, and Marco sponsored it. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe that is thing.
Cool. I don't know how that's going to be drawn. I guess we're getting close to that mark now, and it'll be on the main show whenever that number gets crossed. And here you can see the tiers for Patreon, and if you're on the Sweet Angel
Wait,
tier,
so the only giveaway slide you had was for Marco's t-shirts?
dude, there's other stuff, but like, listen, like I have missed 3 weeks. I looked in the network slides chat, and that's all I saw in there, bro. I don't know I don't know if maybe now that no one else has a StreamYard login except me and Zach, maybe he's like, I don't need to post in here anymore because, like, who am I talking to? The empty void. Maybe that's his attitude. I don't know. But they're giving away some figures too, and who knows? Because Mike brought it up, maybe he is giving away a figure and donated it. I don't know, but he
No, I'm
seems
not donating anything. So it was
well.
not intended to be a selfish plug.
Well, is Dean? It's my understanding that some figures are being given away for the 75,000 giveaway as well. And
Yeah,
what
it's Mark 50 Hot Toys from Natalie G, a Bo-Katan Hot Toys from Lane the Legend Kramer, and a Maximum Spider-Man, I believe, from Zach.
cool. Zach did load up on Maximum Spider-Man, so I believe that's possible. And you know, if you want to, it might be true that if you signed up for the What a Guy tier right now, you'd be guaranteeing yourself a soap bar. So you should probably do that. But anyone who is Sweet Angel or above is going to get stickers sent to you every other month. And the May-June stickers are OxCon 3 and the Toy Show sticker, which was some AI Studio Ghibli bandwagon silliness. But I'm always amazed by the fact that I can identify Sean and Rainer in that picture, because you shouldn't be able to, but you can sort of tell who it is. That's cool. All right, and we got our YouTube channel members: 12-inch Moose Dream, Absolute Irwin, Alex Black, Aurelius Delgado, Aaron Salazar. That's a new one for me too. Aaron Boverman, Ben Thomas, Big Rib, Bob Dylan, Chris Valencerina, Clinton Martin, CT603, DJ, Eddie Money Manzanares, Gare Bear, Harry Dempsey, Hodor, Howard Potts, Mike's Adventure World, Manny Fresh 369, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin's Sports Card, Jazzy, King Dingling, Luke Skywalker, LV Avenger 702, Figure in a Bubble, Mr. Sketch, OG Fan, 1/6 Figure Focus, Philip the Fool, Ron E, S Beam, Sam Gist, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Stephen Kret, Trevor Weed, Universal Key, and Yomo. Thanks so much for being a YouTube member. And there's all kinds of, like award icons and color tiers for that, which I don't have the slides for some reason. But we'll try and get them in there next time. And here's a look at the network. I think OFAC is either in the midst of planning a show. I think they're going to have one pretty soon. They've been doing roughly one a month, and it's great to have them back. Then you have the main show live every Tuesday night, and Small Talk twice a month on Thursday. They'll be up next Thursday, and I'll be on there. Hopefully, if I can make it. I missed the last two, but that's why I made a point to get here for CW Movie Night. And then you have After Dark live every Wednesday night, and eventually those go private. So if you want access to them, you want to join the Patreon. And CW Plus doesn't exist anymore, and I probably need a new slide there. And Just Another Friday Night is covering all your most current entertainment news, and they're actually live every week, unlike CW Movie Night. So that's probably the superior source for that sort of thing. So, guys, I appreciate you hanging out for an hour and 40 minutes. Anything you want to add before we call it a night?
Yeah.
He gone.
He's toast.
What happened?
Wow.
Okay, I'm fucking way over here. That was not me. I'm debating on whether to open this or not.
What is
And
it?
it cost me almost 200. It cost me almost $200. So I feel like I should, but
Wow.
yeah.
That was
If
legit.
you guys
Wow.
want to see me unbox this, let me know. There's some cards potentially that I could get that are like $3,000. So
Really?
yeah, there's a couple that are like pretty fucking wild. So this is 30 packs of cards. I don't know how many cards are in each pack, but
Oh, you're going deep on that, huh? I never even bought one of those for the Lord of the Rings. That's crazy.
yeah, well, Final Fantasy 7 is literally my favorite thing ever. So maybe we'll do that on Monday if we get enough people.
That would take a long time, right?
30 packs? Yeah, probably.
To actually look at everything.
Maybe we'll do
Yeah,
a
I guess-
Saturday if we don't have anything going on.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Well, Manny says you should do it when during OxCon. I don't know if that's
I don't
could
know
get
if
messy.
if I wait that long, they're just staying in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
OxCon's in November.
Yeah, at some point the sealed box has more inherent value after a few months, I think. But yeah, man, Six Guns is excited about it. All right, cool. I don't know, man. That was a good one. Considering we did not watch a movie, I think we had a very interesting, fun discussion there, and I'm glad we had a very consistent 12 to 15 people watching live the whole time. That's really cool. I appreciate you guys for hanging out, and we will try and actually watch a movie for our next episode. You want to add anything, Mike?
No promises on watching the movie.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
Okay. All right. On that note, we're gonna call it a night. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See you on the next one.
Bye.